Thank you, Senator. The next statement is from the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, Senator Sagaja.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this statement is pursuant to Standing Order 51(1)A. It's a statement that, of course, would have come earlier, celebrating 3 great Kenyans by the Labor and Social Welfare Committee, and of course, by extension, by this Senate. But, Madam Speaker, it is not too late, because their memory must go to the record of this House, that the Senate of the Republic of Kenya recognized them and paid tribute. Madam Speaker, I wish to give a tribute to a magnanimous departed hero of this republic, the late Charles Bukeko, popularly known as Papa Shirandula. As I do so, Madam Speaker, I would also like to mention and give tribute to 2 renowned Ohangla musicians, Bernard Onyango, better known by the stage name Abenny Jachiga. I can see Senator Uta is very happy. And Maureen, popularly known as Lady Maureen, who passed on 11th June 2020 and 11th July 2020 respectively. Madam Speaker, these artists have contributed in promoting art, culture, and our national heritage. Papa, as he was commonly known to many in the entertainment industry, was an icon and a thespian extraordinaire, whose sudden transitioning left many family, friends, colleagues, the entertainment industry in particular, the nation and the global community as a whole, in awe and at a loss and a gap that indeed will take time to recover, Madam Speaker, and to fill. On behalf of the Senate, Madam Speaker, and on behalf of the Standing Committee, and this committee, we oversight 3 ministries, one of which is the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage. We continue to support the ministry and give courtesy of our oversight and legislative roles in creating opportunities for artists, growth of local talent, and preservation of national heritage, culture, art, and artistic practices for sustainable communities. And therefore, Madam Speaker, it is against this backdrop that we give this statement, cognizant of the contributions that these 3 great artists, and especially Papa Shirandula in the creative industry, has been able to make. Indeed, he was a prolific and talented actor and concept creator. He was also a father, a husband, and lately he was a goodwill ambassador to several Asian nations. I therefore wish to recognize several of his traits that have contributed not only to his illustrious career as a thespian, but also traits that have led to the growth of local content in this country, and entertainment, and a rebirth of classic entertainment, Madam Speaker. He was born in a humble family in a small village in Busia County. Reports indicate that his rise to stardom was not a walk in the park, but a tough journey that dates back to 1998. A journey that saw him surmount many ups and downs and leverage on opportunities so as to be where he was at the time of his demise. Amongst the most notable, Madam Speaker, was his experiences with poverty and its attendant challenges, including being forced to walk several kilometers to the Kenya National Theatre, where he applied his art. And 2, the patience to be mentored by renowned actors, including Ian Bugwa, and his commitment to training and mentorship. Of course, this also includes James Falkland and the rest at the Kenya National Theatre and the Phoenix Players, where I met him when I was also acting once. And a seemingly impossible, unaccepting and rigid local entertainment architecture that was back then addicted to foreign contact, Madam Speaker, and especially Mexican soaps that had filled our television screens, thereby unappreciative of local talent and content. But even with these challenges, he was determined to excel, including in finding a new concept for a new Swahili local program to make it acceptable. This culminated in the birth of the program, Papa Shirandula. Needless to say, Papa made a name for himself, and we salute the strength and persistence of the departed hero. He was a pace-setter and a good example to upcoming young thespians, and he was a classic example of what not to do to find an easy way out, but to persist against all odds, to follow one's passion in order to achieve the insurmountable with one's integrity intact. Remarkably, during an interview, he was quoted as saying, "Initially, it almost seemed impossible since Kenyans preferred Mexican soaps, that were ruling the airwaves. But today I'm glad that I have made a name for myself both locally and abroad, where I'm always referred to as the African King of Comedy. In his own words and an advice to aspiring artists, the late Charles Bukeko stated that they should never give up in achieving their life's dreams. It all comes down to patience, consistency, and persistence. They should always remember that life isn't about how much money you have, but the difference you make in someone's life. Indeed, this should be a life lesson to young people, even old people, Madam Speaker, and all of us who are yearning for success by hook or by crook, that virtues are a key determinant to success. Madam Speaker, apart from Papa's notable traits that propelled him to the highest pedestal in the entertainment industry on this continent, the committee recognizes and lauds his tremendous achievements spanning 2 decades. Apart from being the renowned household character on the television series, he was featured in several movies, among them Fernando Miela's excellent adaptation of John Le Carre's novel, The Constant Gardener. He was recognized through an award-winning movie, Marooned, by Bob Nyanja, where he played the role of a watchman. He featured in Pambazuka, the Kenya National Theatre, and Makutano Junction, which aired on national television, while his program, Papa Shirandula, won the award for the Best Comedy category. He was well known in South Africa, having featured in a Vodacom advert, where he played the role of a dictator. And he will be remembered for his funny moments in a global Coca-Cola advert that was voted the 2000 Advertisement of the Year globally by the Creative Circle, and that achievement, Madam Speaker, cannot go unnoticed. Amidst all his achievements, some of which I may not be able to enumerate at this time, and I'm sure members would know, the committee takes note of the late Bukeko's contributions as an advocate for creativity and a goodwill ambassador for Southeast Asia, and that, Madam Speaker, was his character and signature. In one of his writings, Aristotle says that man is at his best when he's doing his best at what he likes doing best. Indeed, Papa Shirandula is one of those men who is revered by many and applied this philosophy as an epistle in his life through his personal commitment to the dignity of creativity, no matter the insurmountable journey. Those who knew him know that he worked tirelessly to bring a smile to people's faces and laughter to the world. He enriched the lives of many. We will indeed have a reservoir of memories of his traits, tenacity, and achievements, an example that will live forever and will not be lost in the midst of time. Madam Speaker, in honor and in tribute to the late Papa Shirandula, Madam Speaker, this House must continue and strengthen the resolve of ensuring, and I'm glad I can see the Vice Chair of ICT is here, that, Madam Speaker, we push the policy of local content, minimum local content of 60%, because, Madam Speaker, that is the only way we can be able to grow this industry and our young people, and not let young people think that talent is only in other parts of the world, but also in this country. Madam Speaker, may his soul rest in peace. May the soul of Lady Maureen rest in peace, and Abenny Jachiga rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Senator wako Setswila Amos, on our behalf.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak in remembrance of a great Busian called Papa Shirandula and all other artists that have been mentioned. Senator Sakaja has more or less said it all, and I don't want to add anymore because of the brevity of time, except to say that he loved his work. He was a mentor to many, and I'm sure there'll be many more Shirandulas coming and acting like Shirandula. Madam Speaker, artists, and here I now speak generally, are not given the due place in Kenya. We are far behind countries like Nigeria, our neighboring country here, Tanzania, which has really encouraged their artists in a very big way, to the extent where they are now even contributing to the international scene. And I wish to thank the national group of newspapers who had an agreement with Papa Shirandula which enabled him to appear frequently on nation television. And I would wish to encourage other, it was Citizen, my friend Waruru, Citizen, not Nation. Sorry, I mentioned Nation because I used to be director there, but it was Citizen. And I would like other television networks like Now Nation, like KTN, and many others that have come up to encourage our local artists. Madam Speaker, it's very, very sad that there are reports that our local artists are being exploited, in fact, are being defrauded of their earned income. There are reports to the fact that, to the extent that they only get 10% of what they have actually earned in terms of royalties, and in some cases 1%, and that the rest of the percentage, whether it's 90% or so, goes to the management of that. Madam Speaker, sir, we know that administrative costs and management should not take more than 15 to 20% of the income, really. In fact, in many cases, World Bank, they'll say only 5%. But here, when it comes to copyright matters and intellectual property matters, 90 to 95% is being taken by management fees. And I would like us to go into that. I know there's some petition here, and I'm looking forward to a reply, a statement on that petition so that we can see how we can benefit the local artists. When I was the Attorney General, Madam Speaker, one of the areas I really focused on was this very, very area. And during my tenure, we enacted a new Copyright of Kenya Act, which was consistent with the international practice and so on. But people have not benefited from that because of what I've just outlined, Mr. Speaker, sir. And what prompted me to come up with that legislation was when I noticed that some of our very old, well-known artists, even the composers of Malaika and so on, had died in poverty, some of them in Kibera, in one room, next to a sewage and so on, when in America, there would be the people who would be staying in a Karen, they would be staying in a Modaiga and so on. So we have a lot to do. And all this is part of the overall development of the country. So I would wish the government to focus on this area of encouraging our local artists. They die poor, and if there's anything that can be done, I think one of the Wangala musicians who died, it was said that she died in really poverty and so on. If there's any way in which we can step in and assist the families of the bereaved, I would be very much on the forefront in assisting that. With those few remarks, I thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Senator. I had said I'll be giving one person, but because Baba Shirandula was a Kiswahili man, let me give the Senator of Kilifi, Mazayo Stewart Mwachiro. Mazayo.
Asante Bispika. Pole Bispika, nilikuwa kidogo naongea na mkubwa wa kiongozi wa walio wachache, ndugu yangu Senator Orengo. Bispika, pia mimi pengine ningependa, sio pengine, pia mimi ningeweza kujiunga na ndugu yangu Sakaja kwa kumsifu na kuweza pia kuwatakia faraja ile familia iliyompoteza. Tunajua Papa Shirandula alikuwa mcheshi sana, na watu wengi karibu Kenya nzima iliweza kumtambua. Ni mtu aliweza kuleta tabasamu, aliweza kuleta furaha wakati wa jioni, watu wakiwa wanapata burudani zao ama wakiwa majumbani kwao wanastarehe na familia zao. Speaker, tukisema hivyo pia tusiweze kusahau viongozi wengine, haswa zaidi tukiweza. Speaker, kuna kelele kidogo zimezidi pande hii, sijui kama unaweza kunisaidia.
Order, senators, please console in low tones.
Speaker, kama upande wa pwani pia vile vile tungeweza kuona kwamba wale ambao wanaweza kutambuliwa kama Mekatilili wa Menza aliyepigania uhuru wakati ule. Speaker, imekuwa utovu wa nidhamu katika serikali kwamba hawawezi kutambuliwa baada wameweza kufariki, na ni miaka mingi iliyopita. Huyu ndio alikuwa mama wa kwanza katika utekelezaji ama upiganiaji wa uhuru aliyepiga mzungu kofi. Kwa hiyo na akafungwa, na hatimaye alifungwa katika jela ya Kisii, lakini kwa ujasiri wake aliweza kutoka na akatembea na maguu wakati huo mpaka akarudi nyumbani Kilifi. Kwa hiyo watu kama hawa hatuwezi kuwasahau katika historia ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Mama kama Mepoho pia alikuwa mpiganaji mkubwa wa uhuru. Hivi juzi tu mwaka uliokwisha tuliweza kupoteza bibi ya kiongozi aliyekuwa kiongozi wa pwani wa kisheria wa hali ya juu sana na kitaifa, bibi ya Ronald Gideon Ngala. Huyo mama alienda namna hiyo, na hakuna kiongozi yote katika taifa aliweza kutambua, isipokuwa pengine katika county ndio aliweza kusema amefanya mambo makubwa na apewe zawadi ama apewe ngao fulani ya kuweza kumtukuza kwa juhudi zake alizokifanya kama bibi ya marehemu ya Ronald Gideon Ngala. Kwa hiyo tunasema tu ya kwamba watu kama hawa wasiweze kupoteza hadhi ya Wakenya, waweze kusifika, manake waliwacha nguzo na mienendo ya kuweza kufurahisha ama kuweza kusaidia watu wao ama jamii ya Wakenya wote. Asante sana, Speaker.